But there is no rapture. It's not happening. Forget about this. Approximately 30 Christians every day are getting killed in Nigeria. Blessing your house, blessing your food. And where your attention goes, your energy goes. So put your attention into the wise things and not foolish ones. That's extremely important, and there is no excuse if you still don't know how to cook. The satanistic elite is planning all sorts of things.
I can feel it in the air. I can feel it in the earth. I can feel it in the water.
How can we prepare for what's coming, whether that be extreme temperatures, cold or hot, or flooding, or fires, earthquakes, war, civil unrest, epidemics? Hello friends, in this video we'll talk about how to prepare and what is happening to us, to the world, and I will tell you what is most important, and I hope it will be a very useful video for you. But remember first, God is in control. And first things first, I need to eat breakfast, lit the fire, because we will freeze to death otherwise. Hello friends, and let me ask you what is going on in the world. Poland has record freezing temperatures. The highest was yesterday with minus 35 degrees in a region of Poland. Here we are having minus 20 for the last 3 weeks with some small breaks, and it feels like minus 30. Snow in Florida. People in Siberia, in Yakutsk, in Siberia, have minus 70 degrees Celsius. We have approximately 30 Christians every day are getting killed in Nigeria. We have 35,000 people killed in protest in Iran. Great Britain is becoming Muslim, from what I've seen. It's the second largest growing religion, and since most British people are atheists, they will soon live under the Sharia law. The United States of America is cracked open, and we have threats of war. A few days ago I received a leaflet of how to cope in war times or in natural catastrophe times, and they are threatening with wars here and there. And it's all happening right now, and it's ramping up, and I know a lot of people are feeling so anxious and stressed and worried and depressed. And I want to give you a few pieces of advice and my perspective on it, to give you some peace of mind and for you to feel built up and not weighed down. But he replied, "Truly I tell you, I don't know you. Therefore keep watch, because you do not know the day of the hour." Matthew 25:13. It's from the parable about the 10 virgins, and 5 were wise and took their oil, and 5 were foolish. And we are in times where we have to be one of those 5 wise virgins, and not despair, but use discernment and And where your attention goes, your energy goes. So put your attention into the wise things and not foolish ones. The thing is, we don't know exactly what's coming. We know unrest is coming. We know the so-called elite, the satanistic elite, is planning all sorts of things. And they will not let anyone stop them. It's put in motion and it's happening. And there could be a plethora of things happening. Some are man-made. I've talked about weather manipulation for a long time on my channel. Some things are God's wrath and justice coming upon this earth. Some things will be completely a hoax, man-made, hallucinations that they are planning for us. Some will be real. Wars will be real. Illnesses will be real. And how could you prepare for all of that, not really knowing what is going to happen? And there could be different things happening in different parts of the world and in different regions. So one part could have an earthquake, the other could have freezing temperature, another could have war, some other could have lack of food. All sorts of things could be happening. For example, they are scaring now Central and Northern Europe that we are heading into an ice age, and it will be colder than ever, and only Northern Europe. Poland is maybe more centrally, but they're saying Sweden, Germany, Finland, Poland, a few of those countries will be affected. Those that are at the Baltic Sea will have extreme cold temperatures, freezing temperatures, and extreme harsh long winters. We are not prepared for this at all. And here is what I think is most important. There are a few things. First of all, and most importantly, if you haven't yet given your life to Jesus and you just stumbled across this video, or you've watched me for some time, but you haven't done that, do it. He's waiting for you. He's waiting for you. He loves each and every person so much. And that is the only warranty we have in life. And the only warranty we have in life is that we will die. And the most important thing is what will happen after we die, after you die. Do you want to have eternal life, eternal happiness, eternal joy? So that is the most important thing. Give your life over to Jesus. All areas of your life, all aspects of your life. Let thy will be done, as it is in heavens and on earth. That is the most important thing. Remember that God is above everything else. Even if you don't do any of the other things I will talk about, or you have no ability to do them, you have no health, you don't have the ability to prepare in any small way, God can provide for you, and God's will always be done. Give your will and your life over to Jesus. No one is going to save you here on this earth. No nation, no president, no hero is coming to save you here on this earth. Some of us are going to die sooner, some of us later, some of us maybe out of old age, and some of us because of what will be happening in the world. But it's all coming, and no one will save you from this. So the only way, the truth and life is Jesus, and to give your life over to Jesus. And for some of my Protestant friends, if you believe in rapture, it's not going to happen. Jesus is not going to come and save you from any suffering. That's not what Jesus promised us. He promised us suffering, and he said, take your cross and walk as I walked with my cross. And people are suffering all over the world, and no one is going to be an exception. Unless you die peacefully, which could happen, but there is no rapture. It's not happening. Forget about it. Don't be stressed. Don't be worried. Of course, it's human to be But no matter what happens, even if our lives will be taken, remember that God is sovereign and He is in control. His will be done, no matter what any satanic elites are planning or thinking or want to do. Remember, He shall cover thee with His feathers, and under His wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. Only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. Even if 10,000 fall by your side, and even if you fall, remember, God is sovereign and He shall cover you in His wings. I'm cold. It's still very cold inside. Second thing that I think is the most important thing is not to buy, tins of food and cans of food and bottles of water and all sorts of things. It is important. You could do it, but there is no guarantee that you will be able to use it. Your house could burn down, could be water in your house, you could be robbed by some malicious people out of all your food that you were hiding somewhere. The money in the bank could disappear if you are saving up there and, keeping for the dark hour that is approaching. Even things you gathered around, if you have a plot or your garden, it could all be destroyed and there will be nothing out of it. I do think that it is important to have things in place that could facilitate you being able to live independently, not relying on the government for a short period of time, like having a well, a water well, or a root cellar, or a garden, or maybe chickens or other animals. I do think it's important, but at the same time, you never know what could happen. For example, our water pump broke because of the extreme weather. Unfortunately, we'll probably have to pay it for ourselves. The company won't do it, that we bought from them, even though it's only been over a year. But if anything happened right now, we would have no water. We have, the well, but we don't have a pump right now, so we have to buy a new one. And things like that could happen. Now we know that for winter we have to unscrew the pump because it will break otherwise if it's -20 for several weeks. And we'll do that. So it's good that we discover it now, maybe, and we can do something about it before next winter or next year. But if anything happened right now and they would cut off our water supply, we would not be able to get any water from the well. Yeah, maybe we could boil snow. That's also an option, of course. But what is important is mindset that sees abilities and not hindrance. Exactly what I said. If we don't have a well, maybe we can boil snow. If we don't have this, maybe we can do this. So having a very open mindset, having knowledge of how you can survive, of knowing how to cook, that's extremely important. And there is no excuse if you still don't know how to cook. If you only have a few ingredients, it's important to know what you could make out of them. You won't be eating dry flour, will you? No. You have to know what to do. If you have flour, if you have, let's say, a few other ingredients and you don't really know, you have nothing to eat, you have to know how to cook. And no, you don't have to enjoy cooking. I don't enjoy cooking, very rarely, like a few times in a month, but not regularly at all. But you need to know how to cook. You need to know how to use herbs. Some basic herbs. Which herb is good for which illness? If you have fever and you don't have any medicine, what could potentially help you? What could you drink? What could you eat to help you if you have fever, if you have a stomach bug, if you have this or that? What can you give to your animals if there is no one to help you? With your pets, how can you experiment and around your apartment and house to make some improvements, to have these things in place if they shut down your electricity or water or something else? So having some basic knowledge and a mindset that you know how you can survive for a few days if you don't have this or that. That is the most important thing, apart from giving over your life and your will to God. If you have the capacity and ability, of course you can buy and store some food, water, medicine, things like that. But as I said, you never know. It could all disappear in a blink, and all the money that you put into all those things could disappear. Your house could disappear. Your plot could be taken away from you. Everything could at any given moment disappear. So have a mindset. You know how you can handle hardships. It's good to build up resilience now when it's still rather calm. Build up your resilience now. Mental, health-wise, there is no excuse to eat junk food now and ruin your health if you have the ability to have as good health as possible. If you're ill, then you're ill. If you're not functioning, then you're not functioning. But if you're ruining your health with junk food, that's not an excuse. That's on you. And when it comes to the spiritual realm, we are under a demonic attack, and it's amazing if you've given over your life to God and to Jesus Christ and your will to Jesus Christ. But there are a few tangible things you can do to help yourself, and I'm talking about blessing your house, blessing your food, using holy water, using incense that has been blessed, and blessing everything that you use where you live. Bless the people you meet in your head, of course, but bless it. And if you're wondering where you can get holy water, you can find holy water in all Catholic churches. They are blessed by the power of the anointed priests. You don't have to be Catholic to use holy water. Pray for protection. There's a spiritual realm all over us, both evil and good, and the good spiritual world wants to help you, wants to protect you. Call upon them and ask for protection, for help. Bless your food. Bless everything that you own. Thank you, friends, for being here with me. I hope you're well. If you want, you can check out my links under the video. I really appreciate that. I hope God blesses you abundantly, and I will see you in my next video.